Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy and I usually bring you cozy crochet content like market prepping, pattern reviews, breakdowns of my markets, things like that. And today is no different. I'm going to give you what I made this week while I was market prepping and talk about a couple of my new patterns. So if you are new here, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. And I appreciate you being here. Let's just go ahead and get started. So I came off last video with a plan to try to make $500 in inventory before my next market, which gave me 13 days, 2 weeks approximately, to kind of come up with $500 worth of inventory, which is not uncommon for me. I did have a couple roadblocks this week. If you watched my live last Monday night, I went live for the first time. Maybe I'll do that again this week. I'm not sure. But I did say in my live that I had 2 kids that had the stomach flu over the weekend and I was waiting for my turn. Well, my turn came on Wednesday and I was out. I had to call off work and I laid around. I slept all day. I was sick, nauseous, and I got nothing done that day. And then my youngest daughter had a dinner theater thing she does and lots of practices, and then we had a show Friday night and I was there all evening, and then last night I volunteered at the show, so I was gone all evening. So it was just several things this week that kind of got in my way of doing my normal market prep. And usually I like to do a lot up front, and then that very last week before I go to the market, I like to just be able to sit back and be like, oh, I did enough. And I have enough. Like, this is not going to be a 2-day market. It is not anything that is like huge and massive that I'm expecting anyway. It's brand new market for us, but it is outdoors and the weather doesn't look great right now. And so I'm just kind of like, I could push myself this week, but at the same time, I still have over, $2,000 worth of inventory. And then we'll have whatever Tara brings as well. So I'm not going to stress this week if for some reason I don't hit my goal. It is what it is. But I do like to continually make, because we do have a great big show in June. And we did sign up for a small local market in May. It shouldn't be anything super big either, but it's just a local opening day of the farmers market in a town just not too far from us. So there's just a few little things, and so I just like to continually make so that I don't have to feel like I'm in a frenzy right before. So, but anyway, so you'll see at the end of this, normally, I could make 300 to 350 a week sometimes, and I didn't quite hit that. I didn't do too bad considering all the stuff that got in my way, but so let's go over I think I have 3 new patterns that I tried this week. And I'll let you know my thoughts on those, and then we'll talk about what I made. So the first pattern up is this cute little, it's Leila the Lily Frog. Leila the Lily Frog. Yes, that's what it is. Okay. By Cable and Canvas. I bought this pattern, gosh, I don't know, a month and a half ago, and I bought this one, the chick and the egg, and the strawberry poppet. And I asked my son which one he'd like to see me make, and he loves frogs. So I made this one. It is on like a cute lily pad shaped bottom, and it's just like a little flower. You see the little frog's head peeks out, but it also pops up and down. Cable and Canvas is the pattern designer for this. They are known for their pop patterns. So this probably, it's the first time I made it, so it probably took me longer than it will going forward, just to kind of get used to reading the pattern. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? The way that you attach just a little bit's unique. Am I stuffing here? Am I not stuffing here? That kind of thing. So it always just takes me a little bit longer. I would say this one took me 40 minutes, which isn't horrible, but it is super tiny. It's made in Parfait Chunky. It's not super tiny, but it's tiny. If you'll see in a little bit, my next pattern is going to be the same price and it's twice as big. But anyway, 40 minutes, and it's super cute. I would like to make at least one more this week, because I'd like to have one sitting like popped up and one sitting down kind of next to it, and so people kind of understand the purpose of them and that they're kind of a fidgety toy, because they're the only poppets that I'll have. I have made the mushroom pops before and I like them as well, but never made these. So cute pattern. The pattern clarity was great. I really didn't have any issues with the pattern itself and understanding it. The outcome is cute. I do really, really like it. I think I will move my baubles or my eyes up more into the baubles next time if I make this pattern, just to maybe help a little bit more with the frog look. To maybe like these baubles will end up kind of just like looking like they kind of go over the eye a little bit more instead of just being above it. So I think I will do that next time and maybe make it in a girly color. I think I'm going to sell this for $12. I think that because it is a fidget, it's worth at least that, and the time that it took me. So I might get it down to 30 to 35 the next time, but I can report back on that if I end up doing that next week. So this is Leila the Lily Frog pop from Cable and Canvas. Okay, the next pattern up is a capybara. This is from Plushie Co. I bought this pattern even longer ago, and I'm like, I need to make this guy. And this is super easy no-sew pattern to work up. I liked this pattern. I really did. And what I didn't realize when I printed the pattern, and I'm like, why are there so many pages? And so I got started on the pattern, and I don't know, you really should look through your whole pattern and all the pages, that way you kind of know what's to come. But I didn't do that. I just turned to the first page that had a round in it, and I got started. And lucky for me, because there are 3 versions of this capybara in the pattern that's included. Lucky for me though, the first one is the no-sew version, which is the version I would have done. There's a no-sew version that has baubles, no extra pieces. And then there is a version where you make the legs and sew them into the round. And then there is a version where you make the legs and you sew them on later. So I do believe that they're all the same size. The capybara turns out the same size, although they look bigger. The other versions look bigger than this version. So maybe they aren't. I could look back on that. But this guy probably took me right at 30 minutes. And I'm going to price him for $12 as well. I did appreciate in the pattern. So pattern clarity for me was really, really good. But I really did appreciate that there was a diagram that literally stepped you down. How many steps, how many over, where to put these eyes at on both sides. And for the nose part. Because usually I look at the pattern and I basically do that. I try to look at the pattern and go, okay, they went this many rows up, this many rows over. And I kind of analyze it anyway when it just has a picture and says embroider eyes. And so in this case, it was very helpful. And I think that they ended up very centered in the face and the baubles. And I got done with this pattern. So anyway, let me keep with the pattern review. The pattern clarity, great. The pattern outcome is really cute. I mean, I don't think you'll have an issue telling what this is if you're familiar with the capybara. Marketability, I think, is great too. I mean, $12 and this thing is, sitting in my hand. It's pretty big. So, I mean, this is the Leila, the Lily Frog. Like I said, it's quite a bit smaller and they're going to be the same price, but this one obviously fidgets and has color changes and stuff in it. Anyway, cute pattern. I will do this again. I would like to have a couple more. I think that there's a meme or a song and or a TikTok or something out there that made capybaras something that kids around here knew, even though there are no capybaras in the United States. So, and then there is also in the pattern, there includes a little, a pattern for a tangerine. And so I don't know if that has something to do with the song. I'm not very educated on it. You can let me know in the comments if you'd like. So second pattern, great pattern from Plushie Co. I highly recommend this pattern, and I will be making more of these, and I'm going to sell them for $12. Okay, my last pattern that I did this week that was new to me was this no-sew cow by Keenmaker. So I have done lots of patterns by Keenmaker, including my llama / alpaca that you probably saw a week or 2 ago, which I really enjoy that pattern. And I have done a little puppy that I really like from Keenmaker. This one just really gave me fits, and well, I wouldn't say fits. when you make anything that has lots of parts into something that is now no-sew, I mean, everyone comes up with these creative ways to make the parts without having to actually make them and sew them on, you know. And so I did have to adjust, and I always have to adjust bobbles, I feel like, on just about everybody's patterns to make sure that they line up with the front of, you know, with the face and the body. But you make this whole body, the bobbles and everything, and then you slip stitch this muzzle on and finish it so it's technically no-sew. You do surface crochet these ears and these bobble horns on. And so my two ears, I feel like, look like totally different ears. I feel like this one looks like it's pointy and this one doesn't. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Okay. So I feel like, anyway, I feel like my ears look totally different. And I don't think, and maybe I set them back too far. And then my bobbles, if I would have went, because, you know, you work in the round, I feel like if I would have went, they're just a little off-centered. They're like in the same stitch across from each other, but, you know, just the way that when you work in the round, you know, everything kind of spirals in a way that makes it really hard to center. Even sometimes eyes are like that, you know, they're in the same round, but if you're kind of on the other side of the front of something, it's like, it looks just like it's a little bit lower than the other side. Issues with these, and it's, anyway, pattern clarity in itself, I would say, is I'm kind of neutral on. I'm a pretty advanced crocheter, I would say, and I've done a lot of plushies and amigurumis and read lots of patterns now. So I feel like I found my way through it because of my experience. So, but maybe if you're a beginner that you wouldn't. And then I feel like I could have used a little bit more help maybe with the instructions for these ears, and where exactly to go in and how many across and maybe how far from the front or something. Or so I told you what round, but it didn't tell you how close to the front or back or whatever. And so anyway, I am obviously still going to try to sell this because I mean, it looks like a cow. It's just, I'm picking it apart because I know that it could be better. I have 18 down for what I'm going to try to price this guy at. He's pretty big. I mean, he's, compared to the capybara, it's about the same height, but I mean, he's pretty round and tall. So, I think I'm going to try 18. Cows are just a hot thing anyway, and I feel like they sell really fast. So I feel like I can get that out of it. So that is my last pattern, I think, this week that is new. And we'll move on to the things that I made that were not new. So I did write down in the beginning of the week, I kind of looked over some of the stuff that I had made before that I really enjoyed, that I only made one of, or I sold out of, or that I just wanted to make more of. And so I kind of started my week with this, hey, these are 4 things that I'd like to try to make. One of those things was possums. So this is Crochet by Jenna's pattern. I do it a little bit differently. I don't bobble change for the feet. I don't color change the nose until the first stitch of the second round. I think that's it, because I took the pattern and I actually rewrote it in my notebook because it's not real long. I think that's the only things I changed. It's been a while since I actually wrote it in there. So, but anyway, so I made 2 possums. I sell these for $12. I always sell out of these when I take them to markets. I didn't even have any at the last market. So that was on me. And I feel like you miss out on sales when these aren't my favorite things to make ever, and I don't love to make lots of things that I've already made before. I love to try new things, and so that keeps my interest. But sometimes when I just want to just sit and don't want to like be super heavy into a pattern and like trying to follow something new, it is nice to fall back on something that is familiar. And so I just thought my list included some new and some familiar. So anyway, 2 possums, $12 a piece, Crochet by Jenna's pattern. Okay, and then on my list also was another lamb. So if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a Madeline Mako fan. You're going to find 3 Madeline Mako patterns in this week's makes. But this lamb is her teeny lamb pattern, which they're still on sale. Sorry, I'm picking up all the fuzzies. Her patterns are still on sale to the end of April. So if you have not bought her patterns, they're 70% off right now. I keep going, and she's actually released a few new ones while the pattern sale was going on, and they're also on sale. But I just love her patterns. But anyway, so this is the Teeny Lamb. I think this is the 5th or 6th time I've made this guy or this girl, this animal. And I sell this pretty much every time I take it too. It's just one of the easier patterns I feel like that she has. It is no-sew outside of the muzzle. You do have to sew the muzzle on. The ears and, oh, I'm lying to you. Okay. You do sew the ears on. The ears and the muzzle. I was thinking that maybe we crocheted those into the round. Actually, I think I did crochet them into the round, but then I went back and secured them this time. So the pattern may not show that it's no-sew, but I also crocheted my arms into the round too. I can't remember this one. Some of her older patterns, nothing is crocheted into the round, but could be. And then I think as she progressed through her patterns, I feel like she realized that she could have, oh, I could just make those right into the round, or maybe somebody suggested to her, but she hasn't went back and like made all of her old patterns that way. So if you buy one of her new ones, like her baby frog, for instance, and you realize that like, oh, she's closing up the leg holes differently in the baby frog pattern, which is a really neat technique, which I actually now carry over to all of her old patterns. But she crochets things in the round. And so once you get experienced enough, you can just kind of eyeball exactly which stitches, and you know which round. And so you can kind of no-sew a pattern pretty well. So I do think I did crochet these into the round, and then I sewed them anyway. So, and you do have to sew the muzzle on, but the eyes are really cute. They're little glitter eyes. I get these from AliExpress, and I sell this. I'm going to price this at 20. I think I've done 18 before, but I think it's worth at least 20. This is Sweet Snuggles Light. And, so little lamb, teeny lamb. Okay. Next on my list, if you were at my live Monday, we did ice cream keychains together. So I did 4 ice cream keychains on the live. I posted this free pattern on my Instagram, last Monday before I did the live, so that y'all would have the pattern. It's just a mismatch of several things and I just kind of morphed other patterns that were also free and changed little details on them. And this is what I end up using. So I just thought I'd share it. I make these with Posh, and I made 4 of them on the live. I sell my keychains for $6. They're super fast. So, okay. Mini Cats. This is the free, upside down. This is the free mini cat pattern by My Universe 64 on Instagram. They obviously look very different. I didn't like where I put this eyes after I got done with it, but I did these on my lunch break. I had a few lunch breaks this week where I had a chance to crochet. So, one of these I did on one day, one I did the other, because they take me about 20 minutes a piece, and I sell these for 10. Also a lunch break make is these 2 chicken nuggets. Hello, there he is. This is super easy on my lunch because I freehand these, because somebody did ask me. I did a short where I posted this earlier this week, and somebody asked me what pattern I use. I freehand these, and so I kind of gave, if you go to my posts, if you go to my channel into the community area where I have like posts and polls and stuff like that, you'll see where I just kind of wrote out kind of what I do. If you're experienced enough to kind of follow that along and make it up as you go. And I don't make any of them the same, I don't think. I kind of change it up each time, and then I'll flip them and put the faces on the different sides so that they're different shapes if they are too similar, and then I make them different faces. I think this makes 4 now that I'll have for the market. I usually try to take at least 5 to 6 of these, and I sold out of them and didn't have any at the last market. So I sold these for $5. Okay, and then on my list also was more of my own tag-along friends. I don't have any monkeys left at all. So this is my Millie the Monkey pattern, the tag-along friend. So I made 1 of these this week, and then I made 1 Berry the Bee this week too, but I used brown instead of black. So I do have these 2, Berry and Millie, which are my pattern. I sell these for $10 a piece. Okay, and then on my list this week was another elephant by Madeline Mayco. I love this elephant pattern. Every bit of this is no-sew. You make the arms, the trunk, and the ears ahead of time. And then as you work your body from the bottom up, you sew them all in. And then you can add hair or not add hair on the top by surface crocheting. All of that's obviously in the pattern. It shows you how to do it all. And I just love how these come out. This is Burnett Blankets, a new, like the baby blanket marbly looking purple. And I think it's Lavender Fields maybe. Anyway, I love this yarn. It is so luscious and soft. I went back to the store last weekend on my birthday and was going to pick up some more, and they only had like 2 colors left that weren't my favorite, so I didn't get a chance to buy any more. But sometimes you can kind of fold his ears out and make them look kind of big, which is fun. But anyway, he's got his trunk, cute eyes. I don't know if you can see his eyes. They're kind of a black glitter, real dark black glittery color. I started out selling these for $22, and I've gotten faster, but they still do take, I think a good hour. I mean, hour maybe in 10 minutes. And so I started selling them at 20, and I'm like, I like making this pattern, but to really make it worth my while over other patterns, I raised my price $2, and then I raised it another $2. And so I'm at 26 now, and I took one to the last market and I sold it for 26. So I don't think that if you make them in fun colors and the Burnett blanket size, it's a teeny elephant, just like this is the teeny lamb, but it comes out bigger, obviously, because it's Burnett blanket. So anyway, super easy pattern in my opinion, just because Madeline Mako's patterns are, I mean, there's just pieces, but you don't have to sew the pieces on. So it's like you get all these pieces done, and then you work the body from the bottom to the top, and then by the time you get to the top, it's done because you've sewn everything in that you needed to sew in. So I just can't say enough about this pattern. I really, really like it. So I'm gonna sell these elephants now for 26, and I think I've landed on that price, and that's probably where it's gonna stay. So okay, and my last Madeline Mako pattern, but not last thing for the week, is another baby cow. I made one more baby cow because I sold my Sweet Snuggles and my Burnett one at my last show, and so I didn't have any of my normal size, which is this size, baby cows. And so I wanted to make, that was on my list to try to make. The cute blue eyes. This is Premier Basics Chenille. If you've ever worked with it, it's kind of like Burnett blanket, but it's a little bit thinner. I actually size down my hook when I make this size. So I'm going to sell this baby cow for 24. I sew everything into the round except for the horns, and then I have to sew the muzzle on, which I've gotten so used to it that it's just like, it doesn't even bother me anymore to do that. So cute baby cow. This is probably one of the favorite ones. Now that the actual baby cow pattern does not have spots. I freehanded the spots while I was making it. So I just thought I'd add a little bit of personality to it. Okay, last but not least is my other cow pattern that I fall back on, which is Mom Stitchetti's Hannah the Cow. And it's Burnett blanket, or this is Premier Basics Chenille as well, which you'll see. It's quite a bit bigger than the baby cow. And it's just a different shape overall. I like the shape. The legs are real nice and wide. I just have a real appreciation for how this pattern goes together. I do have to, the arms get crocheted in the round, and everything else I sew on later. Yep, I sew the muzzle on. Sometimes, you know, even though the pattern says to sew them on, I sew them in the round, but I don't think I did this time. I think I sewed everything, and then I think I sewed the ears on, and I know I sewed the horn and the muzzle on. So I made a pumpkin pie cow, pumpkin spice themed cow last fall that was in this color yarn, but also had like a orangey tweed color from Burnett blanket in it. And I marketed it as a pumpkin spice cow. And that's kind of what this one reminds me of. But I don't think, I mean, this is just a brown cow to me too. So it's in the rust color from Premier Basics Chenille. It has pretty glitter eyes. You can see them. I think it's, no, yeah, these are glitter. A little bit of an orangey peach specks in them. Also came from AliExpress. And then I just added some highlights just to add a little bit more personality to his eyes on that dark color. So I sell these for $35, and I didn't have one at the last market. I like to try to take at least one to each market, and I usually sell them, which is why I didn't have any at the last market. But anyway, so I think Tara had one in the pink colorway, but that is my last market make. for the week. I am doing a pattern test for zero gravity crochet. That's super exciting. And I did finish one, but I want to make at least one more and then let her do her release this week before I talk about that. Let's see. I did total inventory, $245, which my goal is $250. In all honesty, really, it was probably more like $300 so that I could do $200 next week or this week. I did 6 tiny things, 9 small things, 2 mediums, and 2 larges. So I do a nice variety of sizes, but I always lean heavy on tiny and smalls. I think that's all I have for the week, guys. I market prepping to do this week and tagging, and then watching the weather like crazy to see if we're going to have our market or not. On Saturday, it's outside. I'm super nervous about having my first outdoor market. That is, like, the one that was uptown was one thing because we were on the street. This one we're actually in the park. So if it's rainy and wet and the ground is wet and you have things that are flying, and I have sidewalls, but you know, sometimes sidewalls just make you more like your tent more like a parachute. I did order some more weights. I do have sandbag weights, but I wanted to have some that were actual weights that didn't have sand in them that I could couple around the bottoms. And then I have some that you can actually strap on the upper poles so that it kind of weights it from the top too, not just at the bottom. So I'm hoping that helps. Because it looks like even if it's not stormy, that it's going to be a cloudy but warm day, but it's going to be windy right now. But that's the Midwest, and right now it could turn around and it could snow on Saturday. So you just don't know what it's going to do. So I think that outdoor markets, this is our first year venturing into that, and the reason I've never done them before is because of these exact reasons: the anxiousness of watching the weather and the unknowns of the conditions that you're going to be set up in. And then the weather obviously affects whether people will come, and actually they're not going to walk around in the rain, even if you're dry inside your tent, probably, to see all the stuff. You're going to have half as many people, and then you just risk losing inventory. And so anyway, I'm a little nervous, so let's pray for some great weather on Saturday. So I have 6 days until that market, and I don't have a super ton amount of things going on this week, so hopefully I can get a lot done, get my pricing done early in the week. Maybe I will film part of next Sunday's video before I go to the market to kind of show you what I made before I went. And then I'll do that plus the market breakdown all in one video next week. And maybe we'll do a live this week. Maybe we won't. If I can think of something that I need a market prep that's small and mindless that I can kind of do while I talk. Or maybe we'll do a live while I tag or something this week to keep me company. So we'll see about that and what night it's on. So see if we can work that into my schedule. So I think that's all I have this week, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you being here. I cannot believe, it just like blows my mind that still blows my mind that 1,600 and something of you are subscribed to this channel, but that so many of you watch and comment and interact, and it's amazing. I love you guys, and you guys help hold me accountable and keep me motivated. I don't have anyone besides my daughter locally that really does this kind of thing, so it's just like having like-minded people that you can share your thoughts and patterns and like ideas and stuff with has just been so amazing, and it just kind of gives me more of a purpose behind what I'm doing. And if you found some help out of what I'm doing in my videos, then that's even better, because that's why I do it. I do it to just share with you guys. And anyway, I'm just really grateful that you're here. So if you are new here or you haven't, do hit the thumbs up, the likes, push the video out, and then subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll get a notification if you have your notifications turned on when I am live or post a new video and that kind of thing as well. So I appreciate you being here. You guys have a great week, and let me know down in the comments what was your favorite thing that I made this week in the comments. So appreciate that. So we'll talk to you guys next week. Happy crocheting.